Hey everyone, I'm Olivia Curry. This is Chloe Curry, my daughter. She was born on April 29, 2011. We didn't really suspect anything was wrong with her at first. She was a little bit below birth weight when she was born, but nothing was measuring during my pregnancy. About 2 weeks after she was born, we started suspecting seizures. She was, doing these weird movements all day long, every day. And I didn't really think anything of it until my mom came down, and she's actually a registered EEG technician. She has been for 22 plus years. She told me, she took one look at Chloe and said, I need to get her to the hospital right away. We went into the emergency room, and doctors had actually told me that it was just something that babies do. There was nothing to it. So we took her home, and the more she did it, the worse it got. She just started turning purple, and she would stop breathing. She was shaking. Her eyes were rolling back. So we took her to another hospital, and they did EEG and said the EEG was clear. Which turns out that EEG wasn't clear. We took a trip to Arizona with my mom and got her into my mother's hospital, where my mom did an EEG on her and found out that she was actually having something called infantile spasms, which is one of the worst seizures that a child could have. So we called a new neuro at UCSF, and we got in with her, and she called us on the way home from Arizona and told us we needed to get to the emergency room right away. So we went in, and they admitted Chloe for a couple weeks, did tests on her, found infantile spasms, put her on countless medications. Which had actually helped her infantile spasms, but after those were gone, they found out that she was still having spasms. So now what she has is a mixture of tonic spasms, and many other types of seizures, like gelastic seizures, which are lapping seizures, and she's had a couple grand mals. Sorry.
That's alright. It's definitely not an easy thing to go through.
Am I a loser? We had no idea what was going to happen to her. We weren't sleeping at night. I was wondering every morning if I was going to wake up and find her dead in her crib. We've gone through so much with her, so many tests, until we found the CBD, and it has saved her.
So when you guys, when you found the CBD and you were at that point, what had the doctors told you? What options had they given you at that point?
Options for Chloe were really nothing. They put her on countless medications, diets, everything, and we kept going in and hearing back the same result, which was nothing had changed. Her seizures were getting worse, and there was nothing they could do. They told us Chloe would basically just seize for the rest of her life. And at one point they told us that seizures, the type of seizures she's having aren't that bad for her. Which, obviously is not true. All seizures are bad for anybody.
Of course.
So, they we flew out to Seattle to meet a special geneticist, and he gave us a life expectancy of 11 years old for Chloe, so that she probably wouldn't make it. But now after starting the CBD, that's completely washed away.
That's awesome.
She's just doing so much in the last month that we started than she has in the whole 3 years of her life. So.
And how are her seizures now? How frequently as compared to before?
Before she was having 80 seizures in a 10-minute period. She was just seizing all day long.
So 80.
Yeah. And now she's got maybe, I would say 10 in a 2-hour period.
Mm-hmm.
So it's greatly decreased. And before she wasn't tracking anything, she wasn't holding anything, she wasn't really like reaching for anything, and now she's doing all of that. She's 3, but at the developmental stage of a 3-month-old is what they told me last. But she's doing things like holding her head up now. She's trying to sit up on her own, which they never even thought she would do. They basically thought Chloe was just going to be a vegetable. Just lie in her bed all day and do nothing. But she's doing all that, and she's really happy all the time now. She laughs at everything. And she's really
So that's got to be an amazing thing for you to think that maybe you've got another 10 years and
oh yeah.
And the prospects of those 10 years, and then just to have this kind of a change.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
I really feel like we've been given a second chance with Chloe. So
it's amazing.
It's awesome. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, of course.
Especially, she wasn't just diagnosed with uncontrollable seizures, uncontrollable epilepsy. She was diagnosed with 1p36 deletion syndrome, which means she's missing part of her first chromosome. In the section that she's missing part of her first chromosome, it caused the epilepsy, hearing loss, a heart condition, the developmental delays. She's got something called polymicrogyria, which means her brain did not form correctly. So instead of many large folds on the brain, she's got many patches of small folds, which is what is causing Chloe's seizures to be so hard to control. I just totally see her now overcoming all of it. So.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome. She certainly looks content.
Yeah. Very happy. Before, we could never do this with Chloe. We couldn't hold her. She would fight us. She would pull us, or pull my hair. She'd scratch my face. If you get too close to her mouth, she'll actually bite you. But she's not doing any of that anymore. She lets us hold her. We can actually sit and cuddle with her, and it's awesome.
It is awesome.
It really is.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can use this to help a lot of other people.
Yeah.
So while we're here now, and you were having headaches.
Yes. I was actually diagnosed last year with a pineal gland cyst. I've had migraines my whole life. Suffered really bad when I was a kid. They could never figure out what was wrong with me. I was on countless medications as well, and I finally found a neurologist out here who was willing to take the time to listen to me, and they sent me in for an MRI and found a cyst. Now, they put me on medications also, which they thought were going to help. I was taking them every day. Nothing. One of the emergency meds they put me on I'm actually allergic to, but they wanted to give it another try. So I started taking the CBD also, and I've never felt better. I'm such a happier person now. I'm not suffering every single day. I still have my moments of headaches, but I don't have them for 5, 6, 7 days long. I'm not to the point where I'm confined to a room anymore with no lights, no sounds, no smells, nothing. So I'm actually able to enjoy my life also and be with my baby girl and my son and my husband, so it's nice. It's nice too.
It's really nice. I bet he's thrilled, huh?
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that he couldn't be here, but he's definitely reaping the rewards.
Yeah. He's got his daughter and wife back.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, congratulations, you guys. And thank you again for sharing that. And we will definitely be back and see how you guys are doing in a few months or 6 months or something. And follow the progress. So thank you again. And thanks, Chloe. We're going to have to come back when you're awake.
Yeah. What's that, Mama? You gonna get it?
I'm going to take her 4 to 5 seconds before to do that.
Or she just wouldn't do it at all. She would have it would be over here, but her eyes were still here, and then she'd be like, oh, okay, there it is.
Wow.
So it's...
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
You're on it.